Hi everybody, welcome to the very first CAP Kids Art Corner. My name is Devon. I'm an art therapist, and I was actually supposed to start working with you guys this week in art therapy groups at school. But since school isn't open right now, we're going to do this. You're going to see me on this video a couple times a week, and each video we're going to be doing some different art activities. Because I'm an art therapist, we're going to do a lot of art, but we're also going to talk about feelings a lot. So that's actually how we're going to start off today, is talking about feelings. Now, before we get into anything today, I want to go over a couple things about what this video is and what it's not. So what this video is this is an opportunity for you to get creative, either by yourself or with an adult. There are some times that I'm going to ask you to pause this video and check with an adult about something, or times that I'm going to ask you to pause this video and go get supplies. All right, don't ever take supplies from an adult in the house without checking with them first. Please, 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 okay? So this is an opportunity to get really creative and to get in touch with how we're feeling, because we're probably feeling a lot of different feelings right now. There's a lot of kind of weird stuff going on, and things might feel a little bit uncomfortable. You might feel a little bit nervous or scared or angry. Because of all these big changes that have been going on in our world lately. So my hope is that these videos and these activities will help you feel a little bit better. That being said, and this is more to the parents, if there are parents watching right now, this is not an art therapy group. While I am an art therapist, and I'll probably bring a lot of my training in with these videos, because it's a video and it's not interactive, really, it is not art therapy, but it is art as self-care. It's a way to explore feelings, explore art materials, get maybe some sensory experiences in. And I will be giving contact information at the end of these videos. There will be an opportunity to ask me questions, so please don't hesitate to do that either. All right, all that formal stuff out of the way, let's start talking about my two favorite things. First favorite thing is art. Second favorite thing are feelings. I love to talk about feelings, and we're going to talk about feelings a little bit at the beginning of every single one of these videos. So what I actually have these really cool cards. And on each card is a feeling, and we're going to choose these at random each day, and we're going to talk about them, okay? I'm going to shuffle up these cards. And actually, before we choose a feeling, I want to know how you're feeling. What we're going to do, let's check our bodies, because our bodies actually, there are feelings that live in our bodies. That's where they live. So for me, I'm going to take a deep breath. Go ahead and take a deep breath with me. Let it out. Check in with how your body's feeling. Like for me, feeling a little bit nervous, a little bit anxious today, and I can feel that here in my chest, and I feel that here in my shoulders. Maybe you're feeling excited. Maybe your feet are moving. Maybe you're feeling happy. Maybe you can tell because you feel light, you got a lot of energy, you're smiling. Maybe you're feeling a little bit sad and you can feel it. Sometimes when we get sad, we get like this. You kind of tell how somebody's feeling by just looking at them sometimes. So check in with your body. If you can tell how you're feeling, that's awesome. If there's an adult there, tell the adult how you're feeling right now. But let's just take a second, check in with our bodies. Okay. So, at random, we're going to choose an emotion. We're going to talk about it today. All right, let's go with this one. What does this say? Disappointed. This is a really good one, actually. I've been feeling disappointed lately. I'm disappointed that I don't get to do a lot of the stuff that I like to do because of all of these changes. I'm disappointed I haven't gotten to meet you guys yet. So in this example, this guy has an ice cream cone, he's crying. What do you think he's disappointed about? He's probably disappointed because he dropped his ice cream, huh? So one question I'd like you to ask yourself is, when have you felt disappointed? If there's an adult watching this video with you, maybe press the pause button on your player and tell the adult of a time that you were disappointed. I'm going to have you pause that, and we're going to check right back in after you have that conversation. All right, welcome back. I'm curious about times that you felt disappointed. If you feel like it, please send me a little message at the end and let me know about an example that you felt disappointed. Now, what do you like to do to make yourself feel better whenever you feel disappointed? Do you like to talk to people about how you're feeling? Do you like to be left alone sometimes? One thing I like to do, and this is something I'd like us to kind of go over. Actually, let's just go over it right now. Coping skills. I'm a huge fan of coping skills. If you don't know what coping skills are, these are things that you can do whenever you don't feel good to make yourself feel better. So let's say you're disappointed that you didn't get to do something fun today, or let's say that you're nervous about something, or that you're angry or upset about something. Now remember how I said emotions live in our body? All right, so whenever we're feeling those bad emotions, oftentimes we're not really breathing correctly. Like, have you taken a deep breath today? Let's all take a deep breath today, right now, together, all right? All right. So one trick on how to make sure that you're breathing correctly, can you put your hand up like this? All right, so we are going to pretend that our fingers are little roller coasters, okay? This finger is the car going over the roller coaster, and this is going to help us to regulate, to control our breathing. Okay, so we're going to breathe up, and we're going to breathe down. Up, down, up, down, up, down. One more. I feel a little bit better. Do you guys feel better? So, there might be times that I ask you to practice roller coaster breathing. I'm going to call it roller coaster breathing. And when I say we're going to practice our roller coaster breathing, hands up, get your car, we're going to practice that deep breathing. Okay? I'm really glad we got the opportunity to try that out for the first time just now. But guess what? I'm done talking. We are going to do some art today. Well, it's more of a craft today, actually. We are going to make colored rice for sensory bins. So what I have right here, I'm going to have you pause this and get materials in a second, but I want to show you what we're going to be making first. You ever used any of these before? A lot of classrooms use these, and I'm a huge fan of them because it can be really calming to kind of play around with this. Can you hear that? It makes a cool noise, doesn't it? All right. So, guess what? I'm going to have you pause this video, and I'm going to have you go get supplies. And here are the supplies that I want you to get. Remember to ask an adult in the house to do it. We need a Ziploc bag. Something like this is fine. Like this, okay? You need food coloring, okay? If you have paint, that's not ideal, all right? What you really want, you want some food coloring, or if you have watercolor paint, that'll work too. But food coloring, some rice. I have these little boil-in bag rice. These are fine. This is brown rice. It'll work just fine. Guess what? If you don't have rice, you can use dry pasta, okay? So, what do we need to be going to get right now? We need pasta or rice, Ziploc bag, food coloring. So I'm going to have you pause this video, and then we're going to meet back, and we're going to make some colored rice for our sensory bins. See you in a second. Welcome back. Let's make some sensory bin rice, huh? Okay, so what I want you to do, I want you to get your rice or your pasta. I'm going to do an example of both of these so we know what we're doing. And I want you to take a cup. You can eyeball it. It doesn't really need to be a cup exactly. But you're going to take your Ziploc bag, ask for an adult for some help, and you are going to pour the rice in the bag, okay? Adults, feel free to help your kiddos out with this if you feel like you need it. All right. Put it in there. Okay. Now, what color do you think you want to dye your rice? I have a few colors to choose from, so let's decide that now, huh? All right. So check your food coloring. Got green. I have purple, pink, and blue. I am going to go. I'm going to go with purple today. It just feels like a purple kind of day for me. What kind of day does it feel like for you? We're going to drop. You don't need more than like 5 drops, okay? We want to make sure that it's not too wet or else we're not going to be able to use our hands to play with it, okay? Now, another thing, I know I said I love talking about feelings, but another thing that I really like talking about are the 5 senses. Do you know what the 5 senses are? The 5 senses are sight, what we see with our eyes, smell, taste, hearing, and touch. So when we do what we're about to do with this rice, I want you to think about which of the 5 senses we're using, okay? So we got the food coloring. I want you to shake it up. Make sure that the top is on real good. We don't want rice floating around everywhere, all right? Shake it up, shake it up, shake it up. All right, so guess what 5 senses I'm using? I'm using my hearing because I'm listening to the noise that this rice is making. I am using my touch. I can feel the rice in the bag. I'm using my sight. I can see you know what? I can see that my rice, I think because it's brown rice, my rice is not changing colors as much, so I'm going to add a little bit more color. You might not need to do that. All right. Very good. All right. So think about what 5 senses you're using right now. And if you want to take it one step further, what does it sound like? What does that rice feel like? Does that rice smell like anything? I would not recommend tasting it. We're not going to do that. All right, so take a look. Do you have the color that you want? Mine's not great, I think, because it's brown rice, but look at that. It'll do. We're going to add it. And next up, we're going to color some pasta. I got elbow macaroni. What kind do you have? Might have penne, might have rotini. It doesn't matter. We're going to open it up. We're going to take another Ziploc bag. And we're going to pour a little bit of macaroni in here. Just a little bit. I really like that sound. Okay. And this time, I already did purple. Maybe let's do green. What kind of things can you name that are green that you can see right now? I can see there's some grass outside my window. I can see that's green. My socks are green. All right, and guess what? This pasta's turning green. There we go. All right, so when you feel like you have it shaken up enough, guess what? You're good to go. So, because we put some food coloring in here, your rice or your pasta might be a little bit wet, so it might not be ready for your sensory bin just yet. So you might want to take a plate or even a piece of paper if you have it. I'm going to use this top of my sensory bin right here, and I'm going to pour this out. Might want to ask an adult to help you with this. Okay. And I'm going to leave this alone for a little bit so that it can dry. But guess what it's going to look like whenever we're finished. When you are finished and you have made all the colors that you want, because you can make as many as you want, you're going to end up with some really lovely sensory bin rice, just like this. All right, so let's talk about our 5 senses again. Okay, who can remember what they are? If you need to pause it and think about it, go ahead and do that. And maybe have an adult check with adult about your 5 senses if you can't remember. I'm going to have you pause it, think about it, and then replay this. Welcome back. So right now, what can I hear? I can hear the sound of the rice moving against each other. It sounds kind of scratchy maybe a little bit. I can use my touch. How does the rice feel in my hands? It feels hard, but there are a lot of tiny pieces, so it's sort of like sand a little bit. I don't know, maybe your rice smells like anything. Mine doesn't really smell like anything. I'm not going to taste it. But what's the last one I'm forgetting? Can you remember? Sight. All right, what can you see? What colors are your rice? My rice, let's see. Maybe you can help me figure out what colors are in my rice. What colors do you see? I see yellow. Can you name something that's yellow? I see blue. Can you name something around you that's blue? What other colors do you see? I see some red. What's something red nearby you? And purple. And yellow. Did I say yellow already? So guess what we just did? You know how I was talking about coping skills earlier? Using our five senses is a really, really, really awesome and easy way to calm down if we're upset or we're mad or we're nervous. Because guess what? If we spend a few minutes identifying things around us that we can interact with, that's a really great way to kind of get out of your emotions and get into the present moment. I like to call this the five senses game. So let's play right now. What are 5 things that you can see? Can you name them right now? If you want to do 5 things that you can see on this screen, let's name 5 things you can see. I can see this plant on my coffee table. Can you see my dog, Georgie, sleeping? Georgie, there he is. Dog Georgie sleeping. Can you find another plant? There's one right here. There's another one right there. Let's see. Can you find a tissue box? There's one right there. I believe that's 5 things we've just named that we can see. So we got 5 things we can see. Now, in your house, what are 4 things that you can touch that are in front of you? Bonus points if you can describe how they feel. So I'll play along. I can touch this desk. This desk feels hard. I can touch this paper. This paper is light and is rippable. I can touch my bubbly soda can. It's hard, but it's also cold. And another thing I can touch this rice. This rice is hard, but also there's a bunch of it. So it kind of feels, I don't know. What's a word that you would use to describe how rice feels? So we have 5 things that we can see, 4 things that we can touch. What are 3 things that we can hear? I can hear my refrigerator a little bit. I can also hear the sound of my own voice. And I can hear the rice. What are 3 things that you can hear? Now the last 2 are a little tricky. Might not be able to always do these last 2 for the 5 senses game, but let's try anyway. Can you smell anything right now? Is an adult in your house cooking something that you can smell? Does your rice smell like anything? Maybe you smell a little bit. I don't know. The only thing I can smell right now is the lunch that I made about like an hour ago. It still kind of smells like my lunch. And then the last one, you're not always going to name one thing that you can taste. Right now I kind of taste the bubbly water that I had a sip of a few minutes ago. Tastes a little bit like grapefruit. Can you taste anything? So, that is it for the Cap Corner today. As a review, what did we do today? We talked about emotions, and our emotion of the day was disappointed. We talked about how a lot of people might be feeling disappointed right now, and that's okay. We also talked about coping skills. Coping skills are things that you can do to make yourself feel better whenever you're not always feeling so great. One coping skill is to make and use a sensory bin, like we made today. And another coping skill is the 5 senses game. I will leave a review of what the 5 senses game is at the very end of this video. And last question, what is roller coaster breathing and what do we need to do it? We need our breath, we need our and our roller coaster. So let's do one last roller coaster breathing, and I'll see you guys in a few days. Breathe with me. Thank you so much for spending a part of your day with us. My name is Devon, and this has been the Cat Kids Art Corner. I'll see you guys soon. Feel free to freeze this so you can remember for later. This is the 5 senses game.